Here we are. And when the bandarin starts playing different tunes, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. Pink Floyd. Famous, iconic album cover. And now what do we have here? Pink Floyd meets Cats. Yay. Perfect for me. How are you today? It's good to see you. It's very good to see you. Welcome to the Sobriety Daily Vlog. And let's go over the stats, shall we? Today's Saturday, May 16th. I have been sober for 14,291 days. That's 39 years, 1 month, and 13 days. 469 months and lucky 13 days. But what I want to talk about today, it just hit me. I was just looking on my news feed, and it told me that 6 years ago today, on this very day, Philip Dennis Arthur May died, otherwise known as Phil May. He was the lead singer of the Pretty Things. And it was an interesting band from the 60s, long hair and rock and roll and outrageous lads, and not quite as tame as the Beatles, and right there with the Rolling Stones, and some parts even worse than the Stones. They had a drummer, Vivian Prince, call him Viv, V-I-V, Viv Prince, who was probably the most outrageous drummer ever at the time, especially. And drugs, alcohol, on stage, off stage, arrests, just wild. And sometimes just, you can't even tell if he's gonna show up, in what form he's gonna show up live even, or interviews or whatnot. And they had a great tour down in Australia, and it was their big break to really bust open, and he really got in trouble down there. But he had a big fan by the name of a guy named Keith Moon. You've heard of him in The Who. That Keith Moon looked up to this guy. Vivian Prince was that out of control that Keith Moon went, that's the guy I gotta look up to. So that gives you an idea what he's like. So in honor of Phil May, and 6 years later, which gets me too, because I didn't realize he had died. So I didn't get the memo, didn't see it, nothing came up on my feed. So I heard he died, I'm like, oh man, what, 6 years ago? What the hell? So sometimes you get caught with that stuff off guard. And but he had a great legacy, and that's what I want to talk about, is legacy and the things that we do. Our bad behavior is a horrible legacy to leave. And the only way we can talk about that openly is if we become sober. That way you have a before and you have an after. A before and an after. And people can compare it. And then you can leave a better legacy of yourself. Some of us leave legacies in our business, our artwork, our music, our children, through the church, in our schools, in our community centers that are named after people that are leaving their legacy and their marks. Roads are named after people. You don't have to always be a president to have a road named after you. So I'll give you an idea. There's this one guy I knew in the Chamber of Commerce down here in Pearland, Virgil, hell of a cool guy. And he was a Edward Jones financial guy. Anyways, he had just retired. Great guy, well loved. And he's gonna go out, I believe it was his first time getting away, and go, I'm gonna be free. Might as well enjoy my life and what it's gonna become as I retire. And he died in a car accident. So the old Walmart, which is now a school board for Pearland, they named it after Virgil. So I always think of him when I drive by. And I think, I knew the mayor for years. I knew the new mayor when he wasn't a mayor, and worked for managing a piping company. And I always was good friends with Quentin through the chamber. And I always said, I'm going to vote for you. And he turns out now, because, without getting political, how Trump effed everything up, where this is Trump country, where Trump won 27 points above Kamala Harris. Quentin is a Democrat and a black man. And he won. So he overcame the 27 points that Trump just pissed away for the Republicans and added some to it with his style and his charisma. Congratulations, Quentin. Awesome job, my brother. Legacy. This is a kid, me, who lived in Duluth, Minnesota in the woods in the Arnold School District. Later on, I got bused into downtown in junior high school and then to Central High School on top of the hill in downtown Duluth. But I was bused in, I was a country boy. And more backwoods too, backwoods and country. And you fishing, boundary waters. I never was a hunter, but all my friends were hunters and my family. And you're an outdoors person. You really are. If you're from Minnesota, winter, spring, summer, or fall, you're out there. Me, not so much, but I was out there a bit fishing. But you leave a legacy behind from where you're from. And I never thought that I would ever meet mayors and future mayors. My wife's in the music business, so when we were in Nashville, I never thought I'd meet so many country artists. The first time I was at the Grand Ole Opry. I still consider the Ryman Auditorium the Grand Ole Opry because that's what it was when I was a kid. And then when I was about 11 or 12, it got moved, and that's where the Grand Ole Opry is now. But anyways, that's the one I went to with Kim. And my first time at the Grand Ole Opry, and I was in backstage, not in the front, backstage. And every time, I always say if I write a book, the book is going to be called Kim Solem +1. That's me. My name is never on there. It's oh, you're with Kim. Yeah. And in the early days, I told her not to wear a wedding ring because you're an artist and you want to be noticed by every man. And that didn't, is it going to bother you? No, not at all. This is for your art. Anyways, and if I'm promoting you and they know that I'm your husband, they're going to go, oh, well, okay, of course she's the best singer. Oh, of course she's a great songwriter. You're married to her. But the funny thing is, and this is a true story, Kim is so beautiful. I approached her because I was sober and I had, my buddy said, man, you got some big cojones. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I don't have any brains at all. But I went to her because I went to go see this band play live, some great classic rock and roll. I say classic now because we call it rock and roll, but as I get older, everyone calls it classic now. Thanks. Thanks for the reminder. But anyways, obviously I went out with her and we got married. But when people thought I worked for her in Nashville, they would literally look at me and look at her headshot and her pictures and go, well, obviously this guy's not married to her. Jesus, look at this guy. So I always say it's like I'm a 6, but with my personality and my sense of humor and my empathy and open emotions, a woman can upgrade me to 7.5, maybe just a little bit below 8. Not too bad for a 6, so I would push that. Anyways, getting back on legacy, I got to meet a lot of legacy country artists backstage. It was fantastic. And I never thought a kid like me would listen to those records and hear them artists sing on the radio and ever get a chance to say hello, meet them, get an autograph, and talk with them. And it was constant, just constant. And I'm always grateful for that. And she's out doing her art and her music, and she's making a legacy for herself. Me, with the Temple of Sobriety, the last quarter of my life, I'm trying to pay it forward and make it good for other people. So that'll be my legacy. We all have a legacy. We all try to make sure it lasts and it's important. And we actually can do something with it. And everyone has a legacy, like Phil May. If you get a chance, listen to the Pretty Things. You'd be surprised. You're like, well, how come I didn't hear these guys before? Because the radio station didn't plug them that hard. And then when Vivian Prince started acting up, a lot of promoters and things like, well, we don't want to deal with them. They did the same shit to the Kinks too. That's why the Kinks never toured America in the late 60s until they came back later, because some promoter got pissed at them. And as far as I'm concerned, an artist is making music and he made you mad. He pissed you off. Who the fuck cares? Who are you? But they had the position to dick with them. That's the whole thing. And there's always going to be someone who dicks with you. I remember when I was at the Crossroads in Mississippi, where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil because they said he couldn't play guitar that good. And he came back the next summer and he could play better than everybody else and all the juke joints. I couldn't believe it. And all the women's, they loved him. And they loved him so much that some of the married women and the women's that were already claimed by a man, because you know how a man is, going to claim you. So one guy figured either Robert Johnson was messing with his wife or girlfriend, whatever it was, or plan on messing, or maybe he did mess with him. So he put a little poison in his drink and killed him. And he did like 29 tracks, 78s played around the radio stations, and they're hard to get a hold of, but thank God for CDs so you can get the whole collection. Now, hopefully with AI, they can get all the staticky crap and limitations cleaned up and really make it pristine. But Lomax and a few other guys, we're going to get this guy and bring him up to Carnegie Hall. Let's make this guy a national treasure. Let's get him. And they got down to Mississippi and found out he was in a grave. And that was the seal of the deal. He sold his soul to the devil and became the greatest guitar player, and he could sing and perform. And then he died because the devil took his soul. That's Robert Johnson's legacy, more of a fantasy, but still it's a legacy. So everybody has a legacy, and even if you're just a single mom with 2 kids, those children are your legacy. And they're what you're bringing forward to the next generation. And all the goodness and the beauty that you have, distill in your children and let them bring it forward. Or if you're a drug addict and you beat your children, they're going to bring that forward. Everything's on a domino. You've seen dominoes and how they work. We have dominoes affecting us today that started with slavery. And the Civil War. It depends on what side of that war you're on and what your legacy of your family is. Then they freed the slaves. And the plantation owners didn't know what to do, so they went ahead and, hey, we'll make you a sharecropper, son. We'll sell you an acre of land to be yours on my property. And we'll give you a mule. You put a cabin on there. And you raise cotton and you do what you want to do. You want to be a farmer, you do vegetables. You have to buy everything at the store, but don't worry, we're going to give you credit. It's all in-house. And just enough where you can't make enough to leave. Just enough where you're stuck. Got my phone on. Sam's calling. All right, I'll have to get back to her. Somehow I'm a busy boy. Just a busy lad. Anyways, those dominoes start hitting. And they go to this very day. And then they go through Jim Crow law. Now all of a sudden there's no such thing as racism. What? Every domino hits another domino. And your legacy is this too. If you're a racist and your daddy's still here, you're still a racist. If you're a racist and your daddy's still here, and your granddaddy's still here, you're still a racist. Dominoes. Now the thing is, I'm doing that as a legacy. That's a negative legacy. But the example is with me, I call balls and strikes. I see the world through sober eyes. I don't pick a team. It's right or wrong. That's it. I don't care. And if your team is wrong, you're wrong. And if your priest is molesting, no. I'm not saying all the Catholics are, but these couple of these guys you got to get rid of, okay? That's the whole thing. Everyone does this all these people thing. That's a racist thing. All these people are one thing. See, that's a legacy that is a silly, right, legacy. All the Dallas Cowboy fans are what? They're not. There's 110,000 seats, 110,000 asses in that game. Are they all white? Are they all black? Are they all Asian? Are they all gay? Are they all straight? Are they all transgender? No, they're all of that because they're wearing Dallas Cowboy jerseys. And as far as I'm concerned, you picked the wrong fucking team. But that's me. I like picking on my Cowboy buddies. I'm from Minnesota, so it's Vikings. And I live in Houston, so it's Texans. So, but then you can have fun with a rivalry. That's okay. But all the people in the stadium are not the same, even though they're the fans. So you can't say all those people. Once you say that, you're an idiot and you're a racist. And that's the legacy you're leaving your children too, who will replicate that. So if you put bad thoughts and evil into your children, you're going to have some effed up kids that are going to be effed up adults. And that's what I talk about, the tear in your soul. Some of us have some really bad experiences and some of us don't. But that's the whole thing. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. So, legacy. It's very important that what you do and what you put forward, you're very proud of what you did. You stand by it. You don't make an excuse and a justification. I did some horrific things, and it's my before picture compared to my after picture while I'm sober now. So things do change and things can evolve. That's my legacy. I'm hoping that when you're becoming sober and on your path and you're making friends down here and making comments and meeting people, and you can share advice with each other, it's really important. It's part of your legacy. And you're just starting your legacy. Congratulations. You are absolutely building your legacy. If you don't realize it, it's very important. Very, very important. And it's something we all need to work on. It's something we all need to recognize. It's something we all want to be a part of, is a community of people that are helping each other out, because the first 5 or 6 years you're absolutely terrified, even if you have support. It's a rough start. Your emotions are just raw. You cry yourself to sleep. I've told stories when I first locked up in the halfway house for treatment. I cried myself to sleep 2 weeks in a row. Small little cries. So it took even longer to get the tears out. I didn't want everyone to hear I'm crying, because like, what would happen if people found out I was crying? Later on, when I'm in the circle with my dirty dozen, so they call us 12 of us that were meeting every, we were locked up for the week. We got to go out during the day to work if you had a job. If not, you were locked up still. But every night and every weekend we were locked up. There was no exception, nothing. You were no. My brother's getting married, no. My grandmother's funeral, no. So you can go out Monday through Friday during the day, and that's that, until you're released. Then after that, you're on probation. I was on probation for almost 2 years after that. And so we're talking 2.5 years into my 6 years of absolute feeling terrified. But I got used to the rush of being scared. And I like to push myself as hard as I could. So it became a good thing for me. And then now it's becoming part of my legacy. And I appreciate you sharing with others. I appreciate you being part of my community, our community. Not like I invented addiction. Just stumbled upon it, you might say. But anyways, thank you. For those of you that help us on Patreon, thank you. For those of you with Cash App and Venmo, thank you. Buy us a coffee, thank you. Chime, ding, 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 ding. Thank you. Tax exempt with our outreach program so that we can help people. Because if mommy and daddy effed up their lives and effed up their marriage and never got their marriage back together again, or maybe they did, they still effed up their kids. And kids are collateral damage, and we need to help them too. And like I pointed out, we're all kids that are damaged in one way, shape, or form. Some of us just got neglected and it was a painful, awkward experience, and some of us got Jeffrey Epstein, okay? but we all got damaged, man. So you know it's true. With that being said, thank you for joining me. Let's do the stats. One more time. Today is Saturday, May 16th. I have been sober for 14,291 days, 39 years, 1 month, and 13 days, 469 months, and lucky 13 days. Woo! But thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for spending your time with us. It means a lot. And from the bottom of my heart to the top of my soul, I thank you all. And of course, in the words of Ringo, you know what's coming, don't you? Of course you do. You've seen this before, haven't you, lad? It's called the closing salvo. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of the community. Until they do the next video, daily sobriety vlog, which is daily, so therefore it will be tomorrow on Sunday. And we'll add some more new numbers to the stats. Until then, I love you. Thank you. I will see you again very soon. Adios, amigos.